Greetings, Toiletarians! I'm your host, Toilet Terry, and you guys are all watching Toilet Talk with Terry. That's me, obviously. The discussion topic for this episode is the Fall Shuffle, Part 2. So I wake up in the morning and I decide I'm gonna wear my sweater today. It's cold, I'm gonna wear my sweater today. Big mistake, because by 2 p.m., I'm standing in the sunlight, my face in a full meltdown because it is 75 degrees. And I'm thinking to myself, did I just step into a microwave? Seriously. But then by 5 p.m., it's in the 50s again, and I'm wrapped in a blanket like I'm hibernating. You just can't win, can you? The worst part is not just the weather. It's not just about the weather. It's also about the clothing choices. Everyone talks about layering in the fall, but layering is just another word for set up for personal failure. Yeah. It's like, you think, oh, it's cold, I'm going to put on so many layers. You set yourself up for this unpredictable weather, but then by afternoon, you are in a hot sweat and you are peeling off layers one by one by one by one. Thinking to yourself, why did I ever do this? You've got a shirt in your bag, a jacket, half unbuttoned, and your shoes look like they're about ready for a muddy disaster. And let's talk about the leaves for a second again, shall we? Let's elaborate on that for a second. It's like after Halloween ends, boom, the leaves start falling at a rapid rate, out of nowhere. You're walking in a beautiful, vibrant scene for a number of days, and then suddenly, boom, orange and yellow everywhere. And you're thinking, what did I do to get myself into this? And like I said before, when you're raking leaves, you think you're a master making progress, then boom, a sudden gust of wind comes in. And you're like, oh, I'm back to now worse than I was before I even started. After a while, you just feel like giving up, do you? You're just standing there holding your rake like it's a weapon. And your neighbors are like, probably wondering if you're just some extremely unmotivated gardener. You're surrounded by a pile of leaves you didn't ask for, and it's like fall is mocking you. But here's a kicker. While you are raking the leaves, everyone else in the neighborhood is also having their own fall panic moments. You know what I'm talking about? There's this guy in the cul-de-sac who's been wearing the same fall outfit for the past 3 weeks. He's walking up and down the cul-de-sac, walking up and down the street, like he's brought his autumn aesthetic down to science. He's the guy who's on top of things during the fall. He knows what the weather is like all the time. He knows the climate all the time. He's got on all those extra layers and he's making a run to Home Depot for some extra mulch while you're standing there wondering whether or not, does my lawn really need this much work? And then there's the whole pumpkin situation. Yeah, I know Halloween is over, but I'm still thinking about pumpkins. Like, when are we going to stop pretending that pumpkins are the answer to every situation? It's November now, but we're still entering the pumpkin spice, pumpkin purgatory, or whatever you call it. Like, everywhere you go, there's pumpkins on the porch of every house. But they're no longer fall festive. They're rotting. You see them sitting there and you just feel bad for them. You're thinking to yourself, okay, how long am I supposed to leave you there on my porch before it gets weird? This whole keeping it magic and stuff just by leaving a piece of rotting squash on your porch thing, I'll tell you, it's just exhausting. And the daylight, it gets so dark early, folks. And no, I'm not talking about the vibe where you see a beautiful sunset around 6 p.m. No, I'm talking 4:30, pitch black. I'm not kidding. It's like you leave work and suddenly you've stepped into a different time zone. You're like, okay, 4:30 or 5, time to go outside. But then suddenly, it's pitch black. You thought you had an hour left in your day, but by 5 p.m., you're already outside with the lights on, trying to look like you're doing something productive when you're just avoiding raking leaves. And what's the ultimate fall activity? Oh yeah, that's right, baking. Everyone is crazy about baking in the fall. You open Pinterest and you're like, I'm gonna make this beautiful pumpkin bread masterpiece. You set all your ingredients out on the table, only to realize you don't have half of them. You wonder if you could get away with just using brown sugar and cinnamon. So you mix it in the mix bowl, you put your recipe in the oven, waiting for that sweet smell to arise from the oven. But all you could smell ahead is failure. But you know what? We're all just here trying to survive this fall shuffle. Whether it's raking leaves or telling ourselves we're going to make that fantastic pumpkin bread tomorrow. So let's keep moving forward because, hey, at least we're not in winter yet. So hang in there, folks. Eventually the leaves will either get raked or buried by snow. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, this discussion topic. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button for more upcoming content, which will be great. Y'all won't want to miss it, especially around Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up. We have a couple of Thanksgiving episodes you won't want to miss. Anyway, all right, that being said, keep your leaves raked and keep it real. Peace out.